Happy snow day, everybody. I'm excited to share my magazines that I found for our Magapalooza exercise. The category that I thought was the most fun to fill were the 3 niche publications, so I'm going to start with those. The first one that I found is called Renaissance Fairs and Culture, obviously for those attendees of Renaissance fairs or just people who are interested in the culture and history that Renaissance fairs are based on. I liked this particular edition because about halfway through there were 12 consecutive pages of color photography. So they showed Renaissance attire, kind of the landscape of a given Renaissance fair, so that was pretty interesting. I also liked that there was a crossword puzzle in the back, and a lot of the answers to the crossword puzzle had to do with the different histories or terminologies that I wasn't already familiar with, or at all familiar with Renaissance fairs. Renaissance Fairs and Culture just announced that the 100th edition of the magazine will have an online version, and their Facebook page is over 10,000 likes, so this magazine, for being kind of unheard of and for a niche audience, definitely is trying to have an online presence, though there is no Twitter or Instagram account. They do have a custom website, so I thought that was good. I also found a magazine, called International Piano, which could be for people interested in piano or just music in general. There's a digital edition of the magazine available online, and the magazine has its own section on rheingold.co.uk. They do have a Facebook and Twitter account with about 3,500 to 4,000 followers each, but there's no Instagram account. The third niche publication I found, I selected just because of one of the subtitles that was on the front page. The magazine is Angler's Journal, and that subtitle is Big Fish, Mangled Hooks, and Broken Hearts. So while semi-dramatic, I thought that it definitely captured the spirit of this magazine. There are some great photographers and just featured photos in this magazine of the boats, fish, landscapes, so great opportunity to kind of get out with the fishermen and get some great visuals. One of my favorite photographs was underwater, actually, of a specific bird called winged arrows that can, swim under the water and then come back up. While there's no personal website, Twitter, or Instagram for Angler's Journal, there is a Facebook page with just over 3,000 likes. And I have to throw in a fourth one to the niche category called Pyrography, which I loved looking through. The front cover had what looked like wooden vases with designs on them, and what pyrography is the burning of wood to make designs. So at first I said, that's pretty cool to begin with, but the main story, which was entitled Pyro's Cyber Curator, was about an online e-museum of burned wood that documented history. So not only is it just a cool kind of crafty thing to do, it documented history as well, which I thought was great. There's no website, Instagram, or Twitter for this magazine, but there's nearly 2,000 likes on Facebook. So while it's a niche audience, there's a little bit of online presence there. 3 unheard of magazines are pretty cool to find as well. The first I found is called Skeptic, which their little kind of summary statement is extraordinary claims, revolutionary ideas, and the promotion of science. And the edition that I kind of surfed through was all about diet myths and health. So they explored gluten-free life, GMO-free life, and if AA really works. I loved Skeptic. You'll hear me say, talking all about visuals, but just because of the unique sketched visuals that went with each article. There were black and white sketches. One of the articles was about healthy eating and fast food, and I thought it was funny. There was a sketch of monkeys eating fast food off of trees. So kind of a statement there about fast food. There's no Instagram or Twitter, but Skeptic does have over 150,000 likes on Facebook, so definitely a larger audience than some of the niche magazines I'd found. Hi-Fructose is what the publication calls the new contemporary art magazine, so that's a given that's going to have some visuals there. The cover photo was great. It was one of the Big Eyes drawings. then the main story was also about that artist who does the big eyes. Timeliness, obviously, because the movie with Christoph Waltz and Amy Adams just came out, so I was definitely interested in reading that cover story. They do have an Instagram, which is, again, kind of a given because it's art, so a lot of visuals, over 170,000 followers on their Instagram page, over 400,000 likes on Facebook, private website, and over 35,000 followers on Twitter. The third magazine that I hadn't heard of is called Atlantis Rising, and similar to Skeptic, it had its own kind of summary statement, ancient mysteries, unexplained anomalies, and future science. And some of the articles that were in there were entitled The Miracle of Spontaneous Remission, Self-Fulfilling Skepticism, The Friar Who Discovered America. So the audience for Atlantis Rising is obviously someone interested in science or different scientific myths, things like that. Similar to the Renaissance Fair magazine, there was a book catalog in the back for recommendations for novels or books for the audience to read. Atlantis Rising does have its own website, atlantisrising.com, nearly 2,000 likes on Facebook, but no Twitter or Instagram pages. And like the last category, I'm going to throw in a fourth that I hadn't heard of, which is VOGUE Knitting. They say it's the ultimate knitting experience. That was unexpected for me to see that on the stand. So, big audience actually for that too. Twitter has over 20,000 followers. Instagram has over 2,000 followers and nearly 200,000 likes on Facebook. I also thought it was interesting that on their website, they advertise for VOGUE Knitting Live, which is a live event at the Pasadena Convention Center. So that was pretty cool. Where I would like to be published was pretty hard to narrow down, considering I was excited by a ton of different magazines. One that I hadn't heard of that I was really interested in is called Artful Blogging, and it's not your usual print magazine. It is for online blogs in print form, so they feature different online blogs. There is artfulblogging.com, so I definitely would recommend checking that out if you're at all interested. And it's published by Stampington & Company, which is one of the, which publishes a lot of the magazines that I found myself picking up because they were very visually pleasing for me. This Artful Blogging does have a Pinterest, which is pretty cool, over 11,000 followers there, but no Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter accounts. And like I said, I definitely recommend picking this one up just because when you flip through, there are pages upon pages of great visuals that accompany all the writing. So it was definitely a pleasant reading experience for me. The second place I'd like to be published is 17, just because I grew up reading that, and I really do like how 17 caters to a young audience. I found that enjoyable when I was that age, the 10 to 19-year-old female audience there. Huge audience, obviously. I was very surprised but not surprised at how many followers they have. The Instagram account has nearly 600,000 followers. On Facebook there's over 3.5 million likes. Pinterest has nearly 300,000 followers, so definitely an online presence for 17. A third place I'd like to be published is Family Circle. It has its own custom website. I love Family Circle. One of the reasons why is because how timely it is, just because it caters to the seasons with different recipes, different decor for your house, featured articles. So I like that it's seasonal. Instagram accounts, Twitter, but no Facebook. And like I said, because I like the rules, the fourth would have been Vanity Fair with over 2 million likes on Facebook, nearly 2 million followers on Twitter, and almost 700 followers on Instagram. So a large audience there as well. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their snow day, and I look forward to seeing you all in class soon.